Okay. It is 6 a.m. Friday, the day of the tournament. We gotta get up this early because the first round starts at 9 o'clock. And we are in Seattle, and Tacoma's a little over an hour away. So, gotta get up and get some coffee, meet at Dustin's house, and drive down and register, and then start playing round 1 of 7 this weekend. The Tacoma Open is the first of Games Workshop's US Grand Tournament series. I think they're doing two or three.
Seatbelts.
It's Dustin.
Oh wow! Did Stefan get in?
This is just content. That's why we're doing this trip.
Stefan got in the car and put his seatbelt on? No, that's a first.
Personally, I hear Stefan unbuckles children's seatbelts.
Anyway, so we're all going down for the tournament. It is 7 o'clock because registration is at now. Wait. Oh, by the way, Dustin, Garrett texted me this morning and said Dustin hasn't signed up on BCP yet.
It's true.
All right.
Maybe because I just got my code like last night.
Yeah. Oh, I have your lists and everything.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Do you want to say for all the people out in the world why I only got my code last night? Do you just want me to look like
I bought both of our tickets, and they only sent me one, so we had to get a second one.
Makes him seem nice. He bought your ticket.
Yeah.
So hard
Look at that.
make you seem like the hero.
Anyway, we're all really stoked. Everybody knows Derek and his Gene Stealers, top of the meta. Is gonna just obliterate everyone, come out on
Me
top.
specifically, I'm top of them.
We're running all the top things right here. We got Eldar, we got GSC, 1,000 Suns, we got Great Knights.
Oh god, you guys are all top of the meta armies.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be a thing. I'm worried about Custodies and Knights because I just have literally no way to stop them. Custodies do everything I do except better, and then Knights, I just can't hurt Knights.
Well, Custodians don't have psychers.
Fuck you! Wait, Derek, you're group mom. Yeah. What do you got? What do you got?
My fanny pack with snacks.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be relying on that.
I got the genie, you guys.
Oh shit!
Don't fill me up.
Graham, do you think this is gonna be like Vegas and they're gonna let us drink during the tournament?
That's what I was
that would be
planning on.
cool.
We saw John over there. He's paying for parking right now.
I got up at 5.
So we showed up and we registered. We had a little bit of time to acquaint ourselves, get some more coffee, and then we jumped right into round 1. It was really cool seeing all of the folks from Waystone. Our store club is called the Rain City Witch Pigeons, and I think I have a graphic of that I can put it there. It's like a whole thing, and I'll explain it some other time. But it was really cool seeing everybody in all their jerseys. We had one of the biggest, maybe even the biggest, club turnout at the Tacoma Open, which is just a really cool feeling, and especially in a room of 400 people walking around and just seeing so many people wearing the logos from my store was just a great feeling. So Dustin, you're repairing your tanks before the event even starts?
You have to do this before every game.
Yeah. My first opponent was Deathwatch, and I haven't played Deathwatch in 10th edition yet, but every time I played Deathwatch in the past, in 8th and 9th, I have been obliterated by them. There's just so many combos and weird things going on, and he had an interesting list with some bikers and a rhino, veterans, and a bunch of different kinds of kill teams. And Oath of Moment is so good. I didn't know how to interact with that at all. And so many different Deathwatch stratagems and abilities. It felt like he was re-rolling everything, and everything had additional AP, and it was I got destroyed. It was not a good match. You played against Eldar turn 1. How'd that go?
Got shot real good.
Yeah. You're the only Eldar player in the whole building who's lost because he played against Eldar. Graham, how was your round 1?
Lost 69 to 84.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did you play against?
Knights. So as Alex was saying, now I'm one step closer to the promised land where you don't have to fight Knights or Eldar. One more game to lose.
Derek, you won your game. Wait, what happened? Dustin found a thing you wanted? What was it?
They have Shadow Spectre.
Oh, he wants Shadow Specters. This is Aiden. He plays Eldar, so he won his last game.
That's the only reason.
Yes. Derek, you won?
Did.
Yeah, you played against the guy that you crushed at LVO. That's hilarious.
Yeah. 2-0 against him.
Woo! excellent. I just played my like best game of Warhammer in years. Tactically speaking, not like the most fun. I've had a lot more fun, but tactically speaking, I did the best I've done in a very long time. I went up against Imperial Knights in the second round, and I can't hurt Knights. It's just impossible. It's just not a thing I can do. So I didn't try. I actually didn't roll a single die, like a single attack die, the entire 5 rounds of the game. I took engage on all fronts and deploy teleport homers as like fixed secondaries, and I maxed them out every single turn. I used my stratagems really well. He had a Calidus to try to make Missive Demos more expensive. He had a couple of like small exaction squads to try to like squeeze out points, and I literally, not a single attack die was rolled by me against Knights the entire game. And I didn't win just because Knights, anytime a single unit of mine would poke its head out of the ruins, or even not towering, just ignored all that. But I got so close, and it was really cool. And it felt really good. I leveraged my Grey Knights to the best of their ability, and I didn't lose because I failed. I'd lose just because numbers and luck. But it felt really cool, just zipping around the battlefield, and he tried his best to like keep me from getting my secondaries, and I just kept evading him, and it felt really good, even though it was a loss. Like Grey Knights, we can put a few heavy weapons in some spots. We can focus on the Librarian Mortal Wound Bomb, but at that point, you're spending a lot of points to try to fill a gap that we don't have. Like, I just came out of the Knights game feeling really, really good. I lost hard. But just knowing that I tried my best and I literally didn't make a single attack roll the whole game because I didn't shoot, I didn't charge, I had no reason to because I couldn't hurt him. And I just played the objectives, and it felt really cool. And I started to like see the points. Like that was the game where I realized I was like, okay, this is how I'm going to play Grey Knights. And that game I took fixed. So I chose engage on all fronts and deploy teleport homers for fixed objectives, and it felt really, really like I had a plan.
How'd your Necrons do?
Really great. Card 136.
Jesus Christ! You fucked that guy up.
After that, I played against Imperial Guard. It was a really, really fun match because the dude I was playing with, he was an older gentleman, and he clearly just really liked his guard models. And it was a really fun, very casual game, which my third game of the day, I needed that because I was so tired from the 2 previous losses. And I won that one pretty handily. I like playing against guard. I have a lot of weird shenanigans that let me move around, and Stormbolters just shred guard infantry, which always feels really cool. After that, the best part of these trips is just hanging out and drinking and recapping with everyone at our Airbnb or at our hotel rooms.
We established that NFTs are probably the most Zechian, like, financial asset. Yeah, I don't think that there's an interest rate in a capital lending system in the Imperium. I think they're a little more feudal.
My communist uprising is fighting for bank loans.
Good morning on day 2, Graham. How are you feeling going into our second day?
We're about to take first place over here. Really represent the club.
Yeah, you went 2-1 yesterday, right?
I did.
Nice. Graham, you went
0-3, baby.
Yeah.
It's all part of the plan. If I get 0-9, that's 9's a good number. I got 6-9 2 different games. So.
That's true. He got 69 points for 2 different games.
Wow. So you could just say you're doing that on purpose.
Yeah, it's intentional.
We're going into day 2. We're all exhausted still from day 1.
Yes, I'm not.
Graham is too strong. He can't ever be exhausted. It's exciting. Fun fact.
Dog in me.
He's got that dog in him. Fun fact, I realized, having lived in Seattle my entire life, yesterday I realized I've never actually set foot in Tacoma until yesterday.
Now you know the smell is real.
The smell is real. I've driven through a million times, but I've never stopped. Anyway, we're all gonna go 3-0 today.
Yeah.
Good morning again, everybody. Dustin, you're marveling at your horses?
Aiden brought me some Dark Reapers.
Oh, you gave him some.
Yeah.
Dustin forgot 2 Dark Reapers, so he was using plastic horses.
Yeah, I got these beautiful ones. Actually, all my Dark Reapers were gifted to me.
Oh,
John gave me the other Dark Reapers.
it's very kind of you, fellow fucking Eldar player.
My 4th game was I was working off barely any sleep with that one, and it was against Dark Angels. And the guy didn't really know his army very well. He knew his army, like he liked his army, and he knew his stuff, but he didn't know the stats as much. And I've played and watched a lot of Warhammer, so I kept having to remind him about like the strength of las cannons, and I kept having to remind him like, you've chosen them as your Oath of Moment target and things like that, or like, remember Terminators are T5. And so it was a lot of me like not coaching, but reminding him of a lot of stuff. And he fucking bodied me. His numbers were better, and he just obliterated me, and that felt bad. That wasn't it. I tried my damnedest to win that match, and it felt bad. 5th game was against Ultramarines. And at this point I'd realized I wasn't winning games so much, but the games I was winning, or the games I was doing really well in points-wise, I was using fixed. And I've been swearing up and down that tactical is better, but honestly I think fixed is the way to go, for me at least, because if I draw Bring It Down, or Assassinate, or No Prisoners or something, it's very hard for me to fulfill those. But if I know that every turn I have to go for deploy teleport homers and behind enemy lines, I can get that. In the games where I took fixed, I maxed out my secondaries every time. It was just the primaries that really screwed me over. But in my game against Ultramarines, this was another case where my opponent really knew his rules, but he was like, I haven't played since 5th edition. This tournament is my first, the first games of 10th edition I've played. Here's my firstborn Ultramarines, and it's the exact same army I did in 5th edition. So, it wasn't an optimized list. He just brought the stuff that he thought was cool that he'd been playing forever. And he bodied me. I just couldn't do anything. Just Oath of Moment, just obliterating, and his guys being a lot less points than mine was just, and that was also very demoralizing. My last game was against Guard, and it was really, really fun. And I was using my movement shenanigans really well. I was again doing deploy teleport homers and behind enemy lines, and just going back and forth, just continuously throwing my guys into his backfield, soaking up as much damage as I could, zipping dudes off the field and throwing them back. And I actually won that one. And it felt really cool seeing my strategy, the plan I've been working on, it actually finally working in a game. And my opponent was super lovely, and he played very well. It felt like a really close match, and we kind of went to time on it, and it felt really, really good. It was also that mission, Scrambler Fields is the mission rule for it, which says you can't deep strike within range of an objective marker. And we also got, I forget which one it is, but the mission where you can do an action to create a new objective marker. So essentially he could create objective markers that prevented me from deep striking, which was very, very tricky and very difficult to play around as Grey Knights who are depending on that deep strike. But after that was Saturday night. We went out with some folks, and a bunch of folks from our club met us at a bar in downtown Tacoma, and it was so much fun just hanging out and chatting with folks. Danny, one of the guys in our club, said that it was the first time he'd really just been out with a group of guys just to hang out and drink in a long time, and it was just so nice. We all got too drunk, and me, Derek, Dustin, Graham just sort of unanimously decided that we were not going to play in the games Sunday, because none of us were in the winners bracket, so we just wanted to go home.
All right, it's Sunday morning. We've all played about 20 hours of Warhammer in the last 2 days. I'm not going to play today because we're all in the losers bracket. Hard in the losers bracket.
Hey, Dustin and I, 500? That's not hard in the losers bracket.
I mean, you're what, 170? What was your number? Your final, everybody, ranked out? I'm...
Yeah, 150, so I had to be in a rank.
Go to the Best Coast pairing site. I am 265 out of 500 people.
174.
Where's that listed? Is that facing?
Anyway, so there was options to play games today, but we're all exhausted. So we're gonna get breakfast and go home.
Glaze it and glaze it.
Don't-
Glaze it and glaze it, baby.
There's that. All right, well,
All right, Pancake House.
pancakes time.
Ultimately, the whole experience was very, very fun. I love these sorts of events where you see hundreds of other people, and everyone you walk by, you know that you can engage them in a conversation. I also saw a Thunderhawk for sale, which I wasn't going to buy because it was $900. But I did bump into another guy who was playing Grey Knights, and he had a Thunderhawk painted up beautifully, and he brought a Thunderhawk to a GT, and that dude was my hero. And he gave me his name, but I was so tired and so wrapped up in the whole event, and I forgot. And I'm so sorry because he watches the channel, and so I feel really embarrassed. I don't remember your name. So Thunderhawk, gentlemen, you are my hero, and I'm sorry I forgot your name. I love these sorts of things, and I'm really excited to go to the next one. And it was so cool seeing so many people from like my gaming club that I created showing up and just having a great time. If you haven't been to a tournament like this and you're on the fence about it because you think you're not a competitive player, don't worry, neither am I. Neither are a ton of people at these events. And they're just really fun to just go and engage with and see how big and expansive the hobby is. And you have a great time. You're going to be exhausted and your brain's going to hurt and you're going to feel like garbage, and you're going to be pretty sure that you picked up something disease-wise while you were there, simply because of the sheer volume of people. But it's worth it, and it's lovely, and it's part of what makes this whole hobby really, really great. I may or may not, depending on what people want or request, go into detail in another video about my list. It was fine. I liked my list, but if you are interested in that, let me know, and I will make another video about that. Thanks, folks. See you next week with something different.